Are you ready for a new bike? Want a little more power? A little less weight? Don't want to pay the big bucks at the dealership? And don't want to get stuck with a second-hand lemon? Ooh. Well, then you need to know how to buy a used bike. You've scoured Facebook Marketplace, scrolled down countless Kijiji pages, and finally you found the one. Before you dive into the bike and check how much wear and tear it has, what can you tell about the seller just by having a look around? The lawn is trimmed perfectly, and the bike is sitting in a pristine, ID'd off the floor type garage. Shop manual close by. Then chances are the bike has been treated like a princess. But if you find the bike in a shed, collecting dust, looking neglected, chances are this is going to be a project bike and the parts list will be expensive. And now, let's get into the bike. It's best for it to be cold for when you show up, so ask the seller not to start it until you arrive. That way you'll know if compression's an issue, if the carbs are gummed up, or if the valve train's out of whack. If that's the case, a cold bike will be hard to start and make all the wrong noises getting up to temperature. If you get there and you touch the head pipe and it's hot, then this bike's already been started, and there's a good chance someone is hiding something. You can see what's going on in the motor with a simple once over, but you can generally test its health by checking the compression. Compression is calculated in pounds per square inch and determines how well piston rings and valves hold a tight seal on the compression stroke. The higher the number in respect to what it left the dealership with, the better. If there's an issue with the rings or the valves, then compression drops, and with that, reduced performance or worse. If there's an issue with the piston rings or the valve seating, then compression will suffer, and with that, reduced performance or worse. No one wants to buy a bike that's gonna need a rebuild in like 1 to 6 months. So show up with a compression tester, but beware. Some people can find them invasive, and most people who have something to hide don't want a random Joe messing with their machine before the cash swaps hands. If the bike you're looking at is an electric start, then your only friend, a good old compression tester. But if it's a kickstart, no art of seduction needed. If there's a good amount of resistance and it's hard to push down, then all is good. If the thing feels unusually loose, kick after kick, move on. Bearings make the world go round. They're everywhere. A few in the engine, some in the wheels, the swing arm, the linkage, steering stem. Power plant aside, these are super important. The major ones to look at are the steering stem and the linkage bearings. If there's excessive play in any of these, you're going to feel it. The bike's going to be a little unpredictable and a little unstable. These are a pain to replace. They require specialized tools and a fair amount of work. So let's avoid that, shall we? Here's how to check if they're cooked. For the steering stem bearings, with the front wheel off the floor, the handlebar should feel very light with 0 to no resistance when turning right to left. No scratchy feeling, no tight spots, none of that. The linkage bearings are the usual victims of poor maintenance. A lot of people skip cleaning them, let alone removing them to grease. To feel if these are shot, put the bike on the stand and put your arm around the back wheel and gently lift. If you feel any kind of play or some kind of free motion, they're shot. People also seem to have a negative notion of bikes that have been raced. It's not a bad thing. Most people are racing bikes have the knowledge and budget to properly maintain these. So in my book, a track bike definitely beats a barn bike. But wait! There's more! More bikes, more options, more time! So don't spend your hard-earned bread on a second-hand lemon! Oh yeah.